Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back again to Social Science 7th class. So, my dear students, today I would like to explain in detail about the first chapter of the second part, that is history, uh, the advent of Europeans to India, advent of the Europeans to India. Okay, and in previous classes I have taught you about when they came, when the Europeans came, and the first person was Vasco da Gama, and later we can see many people, including after Portuguese, we know Dutch people came. The people of Holland is known as Dutch. Okay, it is otherwise known as Netherlands. Okay, and later we know British people came and France came. Okay, and once again I remind you, it is very important to remember the capital cities of this country. Portuguese, the capital is Lisbon. Lisbon is the capital of Portugal. Okay, then coming to Dutch or Holland, Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the capital of Holland or Netherlands. Okay, and coming to Britain, the capital of Britain is London. Okay, and the last one, France. Capital of France is Paris. Okay, so my dear students, today I would like to describe this chapter in detail. Okay, so on the board you can see the first man came to India from Europe was one Mr. Vasco da Gama in the year of 1498, and there onwards they dominated in India since up to 1961. Okay, since 1498 to 1961, they dominated in our India, even though we got independence. Okay, and they exploited our natural resources and human resources. Okay, and there was many fighting against them by the Indian people. Okay, and later after the arrival of Portuguese, the Dutch people came in the year of 1596, and they stayed in India for up to 1792. Okay, they arrived in India in the year of 1596, and they stayed here until 1792. Okay, then after that we can see on the board British people came in the year of 1600, and they established the British East India Company. With the approval of the Queen Elizabeth. She granted the permission to run the business for 14 years. Okay, but later, unfortunately, it was extended up to 1947. Okay, and the main master brain behind the colonization of India was Robert Clive. Okay, Robert Clive led the exploitation of India and Indian resources with the permission of Queen Elizabeth. Okay, and they stayed they arrived in India in 1600, and they stayed up to 1947 until we got the freedom from the British. Okay, and the final French people came, or the people of France. They arrived in India in the year of 1664. In the year of 1664, they arrived in India, and they stayed in India up to 1954. Okay, even more years after we got independence. Okay, so because of this invasion of these four European countries, our India, especially the South India and the coastal regions of India, were enriched by many foreign languages. Okay, with the arrival of Portuguese, you might have heard about Hermann Gundert. He was one of the European who invented the printing machine. And very interesting thing about the South Indian language Kerala, that is Malayalam, its grammar was also invented by Hermann Gundert. It is very interesting to know. And they have written a famous book called Hortus Malabaricus during that in ancient olden time. Hortus Malabaricus. Okay, its meaning is the vegetations in Malabar, especially in the northern part of Kerala. Okay, Hortus malabaricus. Okay, and later British people came and they dominated us, and among these all rulers, the British and Portuguese exploited our country too much. Okay, whereas Dutch and France, they doesn't created that much problem to India. Anyhow, in their level they exploited us cunningly. Okay, and today I would like to read the paragraph wise, and some of the students requested me to read paragraph wise and to describe the things. Okay, so in these chapters, we are going to studies about to understand early activities of the Europeans in India. And on page number 1 you can see to understand early activities of the Europeans in India. Second one, understand the conflict that emerged between Europeans and Indians. Third one, get acquainted with the European companies that came to India, to familiarize about the companies established by the European. Okay, and fourth one, understand the conditions that enabled the British to settle down in India. Okay, many pact or agreement were signed by the two countries. Okay, and fifth, the last one, to locate European trade settlements on the map of India, especially on the coastal regions of west and east. We can see many colonial settlements. Okay, and first of all, we can go to the Portuguese. They ruled India from 1498 to 1961. Okay, they dominated in India. And during that time, there was no centralized power for India. India was divided into many small kingdoms under many kings. Okay, so it was also a benefit for the Europeans to conquer our country very easily. Okay. On 17th May 1498, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut in Kerala, thereby discovered a new sea route to India. Through this sea route, the Portuguese were the first among Europeans to reach India. They gained trade monopoly. Okay, they achieved the trade monopoly, the prestige or monopoly of getting business with India. Okay, it was their own monopoly. Okay, and they never given this monopoly to anyone else. With the eastern countries like India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, okay, these like countries are known as eastern countries. Building colonial empire, propagation of Christianity or spreading of preaching of Christianity were their main aims. Okay, so we understood what were their aims. And coming to causes for the rise of Portuguese. Zamorin, the king of Calicut in Kerala, granted trade permission to voyager Vasco da Gama. So this was the foundation of the colonialism of Portuguese in India. Okay, it was started in Kerala, nearby Calicut. Okay, and in 1509 Common Era, Albuquerque was appointed as governor or viceroy of India. In 1510, what happened? He captured Goa. He conquered Goa from the Sultan of Bijapur, or in olden times we call it as Vijayapura. Okay, Bijapur. How it is known as Vijayapura. Okay, Bijapur is known as Vijayapura now. Until Portuguese left India, Goa remained the capital of the Portuguese. Okay, until Portuguese left India, Goa remained the capital of Portuguese. The headquarters of Portuguese was Goa. And Goa is a beautiful place in India. It is an important tourist place. Okay, and because of the beauty of that region, they might have settled in Goa. Okay, then because of the natural beauty. And until 1961, they stayed in India. Okay, remember that always. And successive governors after Albuquerque established colonies at Diu, Daman. Diu, Daman are now it is a part of Union territory. Okay, Daman and Diu are part of Union territory now. Then Salsette, Basing, Chaul, Bombay or Mumbai, Santom and Hooghly. Hooghly is in Bengal, West Bengal, and other places. Okay, and causes for the decline of the Portuguese. Possession of strong navy by the Dutch and the English posed a formidable challenge to the Portuguese. Okay, possession of strong navy by the Dutch and the English posed a formidable challenge to the Portuguese. So Britain and Dutch or the Holland made strong possession, okay, over the navy. Okay, so this was the reason why Portuguese can't spread in other parts. And later, next point, Portuguese government officials became highly corrupt. Okay, corrupt means Bhrashtajar. In Hindi we call it as Bhrashtajar. Became highly corrupt. Okay, corruption here, corrupt means misuse of the power is known as corruption. Okay, losing their loyalty, later reduced their government in pathetic condition. Third point, religious fanaticism. Religious fanaticism was the reason for their decline. They attempted to convert the locals forcefully. Forceful conversions were led by the Portuguese, and this also agitated the local people against the Portuguese. Okay, then the last point, with the decline of Vijayanagar Empire, that is in Karnataka, their trade declined. Their trade was collapsed or declined due to the decline of Vijayanagar Empire. Okay, and another important point you can see on the textbook, this yellow part, this is very important. You see, Francisco de Almeida was the first Portuguese viceroy or governor in India. Okay, they were the first among the Europeans to enter India, and the Portuguese happened to be the last among the Europeans to leave India. Goa, Diu, Daman and Daman alone remained as Portuguese possessions. Even though British rule ended in 1947, yet Portuguese did not leave our land. Okay, for liberation of Goa, the native Indians resorted to non-violent protest, but the protesters were subjected to inhuman treatment. As a result, what happened ultimately in 1961, many years after the freedom of India, the Indian Navy chased away the Portuguese and liberated Goa. Okay, and okay, this much is enough for today's class. I hope you understood, and please go through the textbook, read the textbook very well, and try to find out the solutions for the exercise. Okay, thank you, my dear students. Have a nice day.